Hey everybody out there, how are you all doing? This is Rob of Rule of Two Review. Welcome back to the channel. And again today, I want to continue the kind of deep dives and the explorations and the breakdowns of some of the Nintendo stuff from the E3 Nintendo Direct, because it is a crazy exciting time. They had so much cool stuff to take away from that Direct. Obviously, on my last video, I focused on Metroid Dread. In fact, that's almost all I'm focused on right now is all of the Metroid stuff. And I made a really fun, very long breakdown of a couple of the Metroid Dread trailers and gameplay and story-related stuff. That was a lot of fun using kind of my format here where I watched the trailer live. And I wanted to do this again one more time specifically for the Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 trailer that showed up during their E3 Direct. This is probably going to be the last video that I do in this format. I know I've posted a couple of things between reactions and trailer breakdowns using this format, but really I kind of want to be done with it after today and go back to just my normal stuff where it's just my nice camera and my editing and all that stuff and like more of a produced kind of video and discussion stuff. But I am enjoying doing it this way since I finally got myself set up to do it, and between all the Metroid stuff and this amazing Breath of the Wild 2 trailer that we're about to go over, it's a lot of fun to do it this way, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this stuff. It seemed like you guys really liked the Metroid breakdown. I may actually go through the Treehouse gameplay in another couple of days or weeks too, to be fair. Maybe I give in. People are asking me to do that. But anyway, with that stuff, that's Metroid. Today we're talking about Zelda, this beautiful Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. So I'm going to switch on over and we're going to go through this trailer together. Okay, and we are back again doing another trailer breakdown. Really excited to watch this trailer again with you guys. Obviously, I'll be stopping this quite a bit here to kind of discuss what we see and theorize a little bit here. But yeah, I'm really excited to watch this trailer again. I loved this trailer. If you saw my recap of the Direct, I told you how much I thought this was a great trailer. I know that some people maybe have different feelings or opinions on how they feel about Zelda's inclusion in the Direct. I thought it was fine. I thought it was even great. I mean, they showed a bunch of stuff. I already thought the Direct was really solid. Obviously, Metroid came in and just saved the day and changed my life forever, right? So that was amazing. And then you ended on the Zelda stuff, and they closed with this trailer, like a new peek into what Breath of the Wild 2 will offer, including the first time we've ever seen gameplay, right? I mean, you can't argue with that. Like, to me, that was just fantastic. I love what they showed. So we're going to go through this. We're going to theorize it. I'm really excited to watch it again because I just thought it was great. So let's see what we run into here. Now, I will say, I love that this trailer opens very similarly to the original one from 2019. I'm going to try to stop here. We get this quick glimpse of Link and his arm. So here you can see, man, he's getting the blight energy. The dark energy is like taking over his arm or his body or something. You know, the kind of dark energy that we saw around Hyrule in the first game, and that clearly is coming from Calamity Ganon and the blight enemies and bosses and stuff that we fought in the first game. And so there's something going on with Link's arm in this game, man. He's getting it attacked by the blight energy. He's having a real bad day. You can see in his face. He's like, "No, thank you, sir. This is not what I want." He's not having a good time. So that's clearly a huge component to this story. We also get another quick glimpse, if I can stop it on time, of what right here is almost for sure Ganon, right? Is this the resurrected Ganon that we saw the glimpse of at the end of the first trailer? Almost definitely. I mean, maybe it's a new enemy, but it seems obvious that it's Ganon to me. Calamity Ganon. You know, there has been people finally talking again about Demise maybe playing a role in this game, which I find interesting because I was one of the first people to bring up the concept of Demise in this game. When the first trailer showed up and there was that silhouette of someone doing this, you know, against the wall, and I was like, that kind of looks like Demise to me. What if he plays a role here? Obviously, there's a Skyward Sword connectivity with these games, and so bring Demise back. I don't really think that's the case, but I thought it was interesting. I'd love to see it. And now people are saying Demise might be a part of it again. It's like, where were you guys 2 years ago when I was saying this? Either way, this is Ganon. We just know this is Ganon, so there's really no point in messing around with it. That's what this is. And we're also going to see more blight energy, and we're going to get another glimpse here of Zelda popping up, clearly being pulled away, falling down, disappearing, you know, again, Zelda's going to be in trouble, and you playing Link have to go and save her. That is the essence of The Legend of Zelda. Totally okay with it. So, and then we get the money shot. This is awesome what happens, you guys. Oh my gosh. Here we are. I mean, just wow. Beautiful. This sets the tone and stage for what this game is going to be. Now, if we go back here, obviously the first thing we think of is Skyward Sword, right? Because Skyward Sword was built around the idea of Link jumping and diving off of cliffs and falling in the parachute dive and calling his Loftwing and flying to different islands and stuff. And they're bringing that concept back in full force in Breath of the Wild 2. Shocked, but very happy to see that this is what they're doing with this game. And it's also worth noting here, what I love about this is this island right here. When I first saw it, I didn't notice this until I went back and watched the trailer after the fact. But when I first viewed it, I kind of thought that what I was seeing was just part of like the Hyrule surface, the ground below, right? Just like the surface of the land. And that's what this was. But as it goes, you can see this is just, it's an island. It's a floating island, just like islands you saw in Skyward Sword. And you can see another one over here. This has got this little connectivity thing over here. It's a freaking island. And then we see even more of them in this next shot, which has a very kind of like a Pandora from the movie Avatar kind of vibe, right? Where there's these islands and places you can go and fly to. This is awesome. I can't believe that this is what they're doing. I'm so excited about this. And then we get to the real money shot, which to me is definitely this. This right here solidified to me what I wanted this game to be. And it's insane because I did a podcast with Andre's Restart on his channel many, many months ago. And him and I went down this tangent when we were discussing the end of the first trailer with Hyrule Castle seeming to lift out of the ground. And we were like, what if Hyrule Castle's going to move? Or what if you're in the same Hyrule map, but just like whole sections of the map have broken off and created floating islands in the sky, and you can, from the surface, fly up to them, and then from them, jump down to the surface again. Kind of like what Skyward Sword first started to implement 10 years ago in 2011. And it got us so excited, and for like 30 minutes, we just went off on this tangent, imagining how cool it would be. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined that that would have been what they're doing. But, I mean, look at this. Clearly, that's what they're doing. You've got an island here, and an island here, and an island here, and an island up here. But you're running around Hyrule surface below, and you can... The first shots of this trailer showed us we're going to be able to fly and jump and dive onto these islands. I cannot believe it, you guys. This is my dream scenario for this game. This is the way you change up your game. Oh, there's an island way back here even. I just noticed that. This is how you change up and you evolve your formula, especially if you're going to do something where you're in the same location as your first game that had an amazing, epic open world map. So I am dying to just play in this world, man. This is so cool to me. Here's an enemy. Here's some gameplay. Link just flying. Looks very beautiful and vibrant. It's, now he's wearing a bit more of a traditional kind of outfit. And, if we even go back to here, a lot of people talking about Link's hair. Link's hair seems much longer. He's got the tattoos on his arm, probably from whatever's happening. He's wearing different outfits. How much time has passed, with the long hair, you think maybe a lot of time has passed. So when you look at this shot here, it's a little bit more, it's like pulled back in a ponytail, a little bit more like the original game. There's another Talos. Okay, now here we got more arm stuff going on. So this to me is both similar and different than the opening shot, because the opening shot to me, if I'm interpreting this right, obviously I could be wrong, the opening shot seemed like it was the blight energy that was taking over his arm. A bad negative thing that he was not happy about. This, to me, it might be the same, scenario, but it looks different, right? This looks like it's almost like a weapon or a power or an ability he's being infused with on his arm. And so this might be something good. I guess the question is this something being forced upon him that he didn't want or didn't know about? Is this maybe an ability or a weapon he seeks out, and gaining this gives him new abilities or allows him to fight the enemies that we're going to fight in this game? Is this part of the genesis of his journey to go and try to save Zelda or whatever is happening with that? I don't know, but to me the big takeaway is this seems different from the beginning, but both show something happening to Link's right arm. So maybe the game is going to be called Arm of the Wild. The Legend of Zelda Arm of the Wild. Maybe that's what it's going to be called. So Okay, so now we get another cool ability here. We see him freezing this rolling boulder here, this spiky ball. And obviously we think of, I think it's called the stasis ability in the first game, the Sheikah ability, where you can just freeze a single item and make it, charge it up with energy and let it fly. Here, it seems like he's doing a similar thing where he's freezing this, but then you can see it changes the whole world around it, and it turns it black and white, and it's like basically reversing time within a certain area of the item that you're using this on. And you can see it's going to shoot it. You can see this back here. It's going to shoot it backwards and get this, bokoblin or moblin, whatever this enemy is here, these enemies. And it reminds me of, more Skyward Sword connectivity, kind of like the time stones in that game, where whenever you were holding one, it created a radius around the time stone that itself was back in time. So like you could be in a room in 1 year, but if you hold the stone, you're going to create a circle around you, and only within that circle, it would be like hundreds of years ago, which was so cool. And this seems like kind of a similar ability to that. And so there he shoots it back up, kicking some butt, fighting a boss with fire. Okay, now here, this is a big deal. We've all been talking about this. We see this drop of water here, right? And it's reversing and it's shooting up. We can see it going up as if it's reversing time, maybe. And then it cuts to the shot of Link, not water, but Link shooting vertically underneath this stone structure here. And he literally travels through this thing and pops up, and he's basically in water, by the way. I mean, that's the thing. So he must be that water droplet. That must be part of what they're doing, is that you can turn into water and like warp through stuff. And he pops up top, and we get this great shot of the world, by the way. You can see floating island here with some structures, floating island here, floating island, floating island, floating island. Down here, you can see below, floating island way down here in the corner. I like this because this part right here, we probably recognize this from playing the first Breath of the Wild. So this is the surface, and you've got these floating islands you can go to, man. And so this ability here with the water droplet, to me, it reminds me of, I said this in my recap video, it reminds me of the ability he had in A Link Between Worlds, where he could turn into a painting on a wall and slide between cracks and around corners and basically traverse through the world in a unique way with that ability. This, to me, it's obviously a different ability, but it's got a similar context, right? Where it could change how Link can interact with the world and travel throughout it, and by being able to travel through solid objects and solid structures. It's so cool to me. It's a big deal. Maybe even the thing that's on his arm is what gives him this ability, right? I mean, we don't know yet. We just don't know. So, very interesting. There we go. That crazy music. Now we get some more story context here, but here comes the Hyrule Castle thing. Moving and falling apart and lifting out of the ground. There's that blight energy. Great music. And then we get this other final money shot. Now, this is interesting because, again, in the first trailer, we saw Hyrule Castle starting to lift out of the ground. Like I said earlier, I and many people thought maybe it was going to lift completely out of the ground and move to a different part of the world. Or maybe it was even just going to float just up in the sky or something. But based on this shot, and it might change with the final game, but based on this shot, we can see it's still seems like it's connected to the ground. Like it's attached to this pillar, this stone crag here that is going into the ground. And we see all the dark blight energy and dark evil Ganon energy coming out of the bottom there. And so to me, the way I interpret this, what I'm seeing here probably connecting to the first trailer too is Hyrule Castle's lifting, and below Hyrule Castle, which is where you fought and defeated Calamity Ganon, and is also where we probably see Link and Zelda in that first trailer when they're, underneath in the caves and they see Ganon start to come alive again. That's all happening under the castle. So clearly Calamity Ganon is going to come back alive or be resurrected through some sort of event or force. And in that, Hyrule Castle is going to lift, and the dark blight energy is going to be re-released into the world, and Ganon himself will be re-released. And so this will probably be the state of Hyrule Castle in this game, with all the energy and Ganon himself coming out and being released because this seal has been broken. And so the castle is above, and all this crap from under below is just coming out into the world, making things all sorts of bad, And how that creates the other floating islands and the other chunks of Hyrule that's lifted into the sky, that part we don't know. This is the most we have to go on so far, but, you know, I'm just one Zelda fan who's interpreting this trailer, the mysterious shots that we see, the best of my ability. Maybe other people have broken it down in different ways or better ways or found things that I didn't know about. I mean, there might even be interviews out there I've yet to read or see, but I don't think that there have been yet. I think all we have is just these shots in this trailer. But it gives us a lot to go on for the most part, man. I mean, I think it's very cool. It's very epic. What's going on in this game, yo? I cannot wait to see. And so now we get, of course, the only bit of information, the release year, 2022. And so obviously this is where I can just very easily and happily admit I was wrong. I was really pretty sure the game was going to be releasing this year and be the holiday title. That's not the case. Bare minimum, it's 2022. Of course, Aonuma said that they were aiming for 2022 when this trailer finished, so even that is not necessarily going to be the case. There's a great chance this game gets pushed to 2023, you guys. I mean, the original Breath of the Wild was what? That was first revealed 2014, and they once told us it's 2015, then they told us it was 2016, then they told us it was 2017. So, probably going to be delayed again. Let me switch my camera over here. I'm not gonna, again, I won't go back to my nice camera. I'll just keep using my webcam here to wrap this up. So yeah, you know, it's not a 2021 game. It's next year or beyond. Something tells me it won't make it to next year, but maybe it will. It's a little bit frustrating because it's like you've clearly been working on this game since 2017. Like that's, you know, over 4 years. Releasing it this year or even next year would be 5 years development time. I mean, that's enough time, I think, to make a Zelda game, including a sequel that's using similar assets and character models and graphics and engines that you already have in place. So it's very interesting. Obviously, the COVID delay might have had something to do with it. Maybe they lost an entire year or year and a half of significant development because of COVID. We have to allow and afford these companies time to catch up because of COVID. It can't be denied. It was a huge world influence. So maybe that's the reason it's not coming out this year, or maybe that's the reason they can't say with 100% certainty it's 2022. And instead he has to say we're aiming for 2022. These are all possibilities on the table, man. But either way, great stuff. Great trailer. Breath of the Wild 2. It's going to be an amazing game. I loved its inclusion in the Direct. I love this trailer. What a finale. The gameplay, the floating chunks of Hyrule, flying and using your sailcloth to go to different things. I'm just so excited to see what they do. I hope that we see Loft Wings are back, or some ability to actually fly. That would be really, really great. That's what I hope. So either way, I'm going to call this good for now. Another fairly lengthy breakdown, but this stuff is a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing this. So like I said, no more videos like this, at least for a little bit. I want to go back to typical traditional videos with the editing and the production and stuff. But this is fun. Tell me what you thought about my breakdown. What do you think about the trailer? Are you excited for this game? Do you have theories similar to mine or theories very different from mine? Whatever you think, talk about it below. And with that, this video is a wrap. Thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of 2 Review, and I will catch you next time on another video.